See you in the funny paper.
You're listening to The Mean Geek, comics podcasting on the very ragged, raw, leading edge of friggin' civility. You ready to talk some shit?
I'm talking to you, aren't I?
That's some shit. Because, you know, I am the shit.
You are a shit, I'll give you that.
Alright, I'm a shit. Fine. You know what? If you're going to be all semantic and shit...
I'm a reverend, bitch. We live by language.
I'm sure you do.
E pluribus unum and shit. I'm just breaking out the Latin.
You broke the Latin. Is what you did. So, what we're doing here tonight for episode 49 of The Mean Geek,
the big
comics
49.
podcasting on the edge of civility, we're going to take it easy because if all plans work out the way we want them to,
which they won't,
when they never do, 50 will be an absolute extravaganza, 2 hours worth of listener input.
Yeah, okay.
Combo nastiness. Maybe even Big will make an appearance. We're going to find out. We're going to try. We don't know when that's going to be because, frankly, we don't know a goddamn thing most of the time, so
True.
Fuck it.
You know, I got to admit, 50, not that important.
I think it's incredibly important.
Yeah, because you've been on all 50. This is not my 50th podcast.
Man, whose fault is that?
I blame Jesus.
Well, you can blame Jesus for a lot of things. But then, since you don't fucking believe in him...
I believe in the Yeti. And I feel that that is a credible option. I have been denied on that in pretty much every way, shape, or form.
Now let me ask you about this. Yeti worship.
Oh, no, not worship, just believe.
Well, I mean, that he exists, simply?
Yeah, you gotta believe in something. I picked the Yeti.
How does he replace Jesus?
I didn't say replace Jesus. I'm just saying...
Oh, now I follow you.
Everybody's got... Thank you for following. Now we have 2 Yeti believers.
I get you. I'm good.
Everybody's got to have something. You got aliens. I take the Yeti.
Yeah, but... Oh, hey, I lost my microphone. Lost my microphone!
Edit.
Lost the microphone! Lost the microphone! Let's try this again without losing the fucking microphone.
It's not really as exciting as you think.
No, it's not. It's not remotely exciting at all. But, you know, we're just talking shit. So, I went on a nostalgia kick.
Oh, okay. What a new and random thing for you.
No, that never happens.
Because it's not like you just watched every fucking episode of Star Trek, the original series, back to back or anything.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I know you did.
All 3 seasons. And they were both every bit as silly as I remember. And actually, you know, far more cogent than I remember.
Well, we know my take on Star Trek.
Yes, you hate it. So?
Just saying.
What's that supposed to mean?
I like Khan and Harry Mudd, which are like the polar opposites.
Harry Mudd's an awesome character. He's a lot of fun to watch. But I got on an 80s horror kick. And within 1 week, I saw The Howling, Wolfen,
horrible,
and American Werewolf in London.
Great movie.
And I've got exactly 2 words about Wolfen.
Okay, it just suck.
Albert Finney?
Better than Gregory Hines.
Yes. Gregory Hines with a big ass fro and a dangly fucking earring. Acting like he's the big bad CSI guy.
I absolutely told you to avoid Wolfen. You know this to be true. I told you.
Yeah, but I got a kick because I was reading a bunch of different things. One of them, Mike Sterling's Progressive Ruin. Really funny comics blog.
Oh, okay.
And he's always got links all over the place. So I'm like, what's this thing he's talking about? Some doofy kid making a mistake about werewolves and ranting on about New Moon. So I followed the link. And this kid couldn't have been more than 12. Maybe 13. Truly believed that Laurel K. Hamilton or whoever the flying fuck wrote those Twilight novels.
No.
I know it ain't her. I just needed a name.
Laurel K. Hamilton writes the really crappy vampire novels, right?
Yes, Anita Blake. But whoever wrote that,
Twilight, Stephanie Moyer?
I guess, yeah.
I
She
think-
actually believed. Ah, there's a dick on the screen.
You want to explain?
We're watching 28 Days Later, kids.
Because I'm not really up for...
Oh, that was awesome.
God damn. Anyway.
Dick on the screen. Explain. You wasted no time. So she came right out and said in the sentence that, you know, the werewolves from Wolfman were a direct ripoff, but they were gross. They weren't anything like werewolves ought to be. They, you know, this author of these books invented werewolves. And I'm reading this and I'm just like, I weep for the fucking future. Because when I was 12, we had Creature Double Feature. I knew that there was Wolfman movies all the fuck way back to the beginning of movies.
And you hadn't seen some of them either. It's not like you'd seen... You know, when you're watching Creature Double Feature, you're seeing some fucking bullshit crap movies from the 50s and 60s, and you still know that there's the classics from the 30s.
Yeah.
Which are classics more in name than in actual fact in a lot of cases. Not all of them. Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula. There's some great films in there, but you know what? Son of Dracula's daughter. You know,
No, it
there's
got
a lot
excessive
of crap.
after a while.
All
they
I'm
were
saying.
running out of plots and shit.
And I'm
after a
sorry
while.
for all 4 of you out there that are huge Creature from the Black Lagoon fans, but that one sucked from the beginning and got worse.
Well, I was 12 and I knew this shit.
Yeah.
You know? But this poor girl, she's going to be in for a long, hard road of realization when she finds out that werewolves didn't come out 4 years ago.
Hey, you know what? She's already doomed to depression when she finds out that Robert Pattinson is not going to be fucking her. You know, it's already going to be a road to recovery kind of thing. Sure, he seems all sensitive and British, but in actuality, well, he is British.
She was so far off any mark you could think to name.
So how did this bring you to...
I was like, well, werewolves. I'm reading about werewolves, and I haven't seen a werewolf movie since The Wolfman,
which you saw in the
back
theater.
February, which I enjoyed immensely.
Still haven't watched because
Yeah.
I suck in terms of going to the movies.
Yeah, well,
I saw the A-Team
it comes out in a couple of
because
weeks.
that's the first choice of everyone ever.
And that's some nostalgia we're not going to reach into.
Surprisingly better than you'd think.
That is not really reaching stellar proportions yet.
I'm telling you. To me, it was like Transformers. I went in like, fuck, I can't believe I'm watching this. And at the end, I'm like, that wasn't half bad. And I'll take that. I prefer awesome for $11 goddamn dollars, but I'll take, hey, that wasn't half bad, because I've seen half bad and I've seen worse.
I've seen more than half bad.
Yep. I saw Johnny Mnemonic in the theater.
Oh, you poor man.
Is that an acting dolphin? What the fuck just happened? Am I rooting for Dolph Lundgren? What the fuck just happened? All right, so
I saw
you watched
Wolfen.
Wolfen. Wretched.
Wolfen was first.
Which I did tell you, terribly bad. Warned you in advance was going to be awful.
I was like, it took 11 minutes in, and it's so cliche-ridden as well. Even for an 80s flick. I mean, 11 minutes in, first death, the brother.
Shockingly enough.
Second death, the rich guy.
Yeah.
Third death, the blonde. And then 40 minutes of nothing interesting.
Dude, it's 2 hours of nothing interesting.
Well, I mean, they eventually started getting a little tense here and there, but it took forever for anything to happen. It was pissing me off. I'm like, God, is this movie still on? They haven't tracked him down yet? They got the CSI guy in Gregory Tap Dance My Way to Happiness.
I liked him as a cop in Running Scared, old school with Billy Crystal.
I
and
saw
Gregory
Running
Hines.
Scared with Dan the Man in the theater.
Wow. Dude.
Yeah.
That movie should have a little byline under the title that says Death of Buddy Cop Movies. Although my personal favorite awful buddy cop movie, and this is a flashback, is Peter Weller and Sam Elliott. You guys can write in and tell me what film that is, but that's a truly wretched film right there.
Oh,
You remember
that? I do. I don't remember what it was named, but I remember
I do
scenes
remember
in
what
my
it was
head.
named. And I'm waiting for the emails, kiddies.
It was so terrible, man. So, Albert fucking Finney with this huge feathered hairdo.
Hey, dude, you got to remember the 70s and the late 70s, early 80s. A lot of guys were doing a lot of films they shouldn't have done. That was the same time Michael Caine made The Swarm.
I remember The Swarm.
Yeah, Killer Bees. And he was wearing a white jacket the entire time, thinking to himself, hey, I'm covered in bee crap.
And wasn't there like 6 bee movies?
Oh, yeah, the Hive, The Swarm. That's when Michael Jackson sang about Ben. There were rat movies, snake movies, worm movies, Squirm, the worm movie, because it rhymed.
Nature gone wrong. So,
and
I was done
my
with that.
personal favorite.
Yeah?
I know you've forgotten it, and I'm going to remind you, you're going to be pissed.
Uh-oh.
Frogs.
Oh, that one. I wasn't impressed with that.
You were miserable with that.
Now, here's something I want to know.
Shoot.
This is totally goofy aside, doesn't mean a damn thing. He just walked by this huge billboard where they prominently displayed the model on like a Benetton fucking commercial. Are they getting residuals for that? Because they're on the screen a lot. And they're like out in the open smiling.
Dude, a lot of times it depends on the level of the film. I'm sure once it's a success. Oh, interesting aside. Actually, I'll give you some little insight into that.
Yeah?
Solomon Burke.
Yeah?
Is a soul singer from the 50s, 60s, well, the 60s, 70s. Up to this point, although he's in a wheelchair right now. But wrote a song that was that Wilson Pickett covered.
All right.
And Wilson Pickett, being Wilson Pickett, got the greater renown for the song. So Solomon Burke goes to a movie theater, and the song's featured, and somebody mentions that, Wilson Pickett's song.
Yeah.
So he calls, and because the film's already in play, he's like, I'm going to sue you and stop this from release. Had like $20,000 express mail to him the next day.
That's funny.
So that should give you a little hint on that one.
Because if I was just suddenly, if I was on a billboard and I was just suddenly in a movie and there's my face covering most of the screen, I'd want a couple bucks.
Well, did I ever tell you about The Devil's Advocate?
No.
All right. Well, quite a few years ago now, when there were still VHS tapes, Devil's Advocate, which was a movie with Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves,
right,
featured a sequence. You saw the film.
Keep coming back to fucking Keanu Reeves.
Don't we all? Featured a scene where there's a huge art piece behind the devil Al Pacino.
Yeah.
In full hoo-ha mode. And
yeah,
the art comes to life, and they're all sort of like moving and whatnot.
Yeah.
So the film gets released, it comes out on video. But it turns out the original piece, the artist hadn't given permission to be in the film at all, let alone turned into screaming souls from hell wiggling.
Oops.
So we literally received a ton of stickers that we had to put on each cassette saying, by the way, the artist does not condone the use of his piece in this film.
Wow.
Yeah, Hollywood is a weird place.
It is.
All right, so you watch Wolfen, which is wretched, and you watch The Howling, which is
I watched The
quite
Howling.
possibly worse.
Well, I've already forgotten most of it. Tells you a lot. But
well, Howling was low budget.
Well, it had. There were no effects in fucking Wolfen. So
Well, no, but Wolfen was big actors, Yeah. And American Werewolf in London was big effects, and Howling was let's independently jump in on the werewolf craze.
I didn't like it. I didn't like either of them.
Well, Howling.
I'm surprised you didn't watch
Howling 2 with
there's a colony of werewolves, and the whole cliche. Actually, that I don't remember hearing that trope before that. I was like, oh, this is like 82, and they're already talking about, okay, we're a hidden cabal here, and we have to take things easy on our recruitment and eating, or the rest of the world will find us out and kill us all. I don't remember having heard that before 82.
There you go.
Might have been the first one.
But
Might have been a groundbreaker.
Howling 2 was the Sybil Danning Australian werewolf with pouch marsupial movie.
You sure that was 2? I thought the marsupials was like 4.
I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain it's 2.
The marsupials.
Sybil Danning as queen of the werewolves.
You know, I could watch a Sybil Danning movie from '83.
I'm sure you could.
I could. You know?
Apparently your experiment with Howling is not yet done.
No, I'm done with Howling. Believe me. Howling is all over.
And then you watched.
And you're not going to agree with me. I know it. Because you've talked about this many times and said, oh, yeah, this is it's legit. I was almost bored to tears by American Werewolf in London.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't agree with that at all. I mean,
it was a bit tense in the beginning.
Well, when Griffin Dunn gets chewed up like a friggin' gummy bear?
Well, while they're walking on the moors, and it was pretty tense right there, so that was okay. But then he just has a couple of dreams, and eventually he turns, and there's a little bit of blood, and then he bangs old girl. And
Jenny something. Agater?
Agater, Jenny Agater.
Damn, I pulled that out of the fucking ether, kids!
Yeah, but it's, you know, a British woman getting naked. It's gonna be Jenny Agater.
Actually, I believe the only reason I remember that is because of your damn sitcom.
Coupling?
I believe there's a whole discussion about her.
Jenny Agater. Whew, take the clothes off for no reason. But I was amused by him coming back time after time.
Griffin Dunn is amazing in that movie.
His buddy. And
Well,
he's
you remember
more
who
and more
directed it?
decomposed the entire time.
I hate being the undead. It's boring. Do you remember who directed it?
That was Joe Dante. No.
John Landis.
John Landis.
So
yeah.
it's a light touch. It's a comedic film. There's not a lot of huge, although the effects are huge for the period.
Yes. Until they show him in full form at the end.
It's been a while, so I don't quite remember.
He just looks kind of swollen and swollen and furry with teeth. I mean, he looked like an oversized mutant Tribble. He really didn't look threatening at all.
Nice. But yeah, stand by that. Excellent film for the time. Has it aged phenomenally well? Probably not. I mean, I can't watch Highlander anymore. So
Neither can I.
there can be only one.
Although somehow that got 2 fucking TV series.
Well, the second one only lasted for 12 minutes.
So that was a trip.
You know, Dan the Man was a huge Highlander, the TV series fan.
Yeah,
Loved
he
it.
absolutely was.
And he would invite me over, and everyone I watched like 5 with him, and they were all wretched. And finally, it's like, dude, you're like a jinx with the show, so you're not allowed to watch it with me anymore. Because they're like awesome when you're not around.
And as soon as you left, it was like mind-breakingly good.
I don't know, but for everyone I watch, he's like, this one sucks. And I'm like, this show sucks.
That's like my dad with any of the Stargates.
Really?
He's like, I enjoy it. It's some good stuff. And I'll sit down with him, and he'll throw it on, and I'm like, this is boring, ever-loving shit out of me.
I gotta be honest, though.
I don't know what to do, man.
I'm pretty sure that my take on...
The guy's 71. I can't disappoint him.
Hey, you know, you disappointed him years ago.
Hey. That was just mean.
Yes, it was.
Oh, wait. Mean, never mind.
There you go. Do the math. But, no, I feel that my take on Highlander and your take on Stargate, the series, are the correct ones.
Oh, yeah.
They suck.
I'm right there with you. I don't know what in the hell to do with that stuff. So, let's see. What other geeky things have I indulged in lately? Not that you're going to care. Not that
Anyone?
14 of the 15 people who have ever downloaded this podcast is ever going to care.
Yeah.
But Saturday?
Death Knight?
No. My priest.
Priest.
My priest ran Heroic Culling of Strathholm, and she got an epic Drake mount. He's looking at me like, what the fuck, guys?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
A priest character.
Right.
Yes, you get that.
Yes.
All right.
I know what priest
There's
means.
a dungeon.
God,
They have
I
different
know what dungeon
levels
means.
of dungeons.
Okay.
There's regular and there's heroic.
All right. So you did a heroic dungeon.
Yes. And we killed this one thing, and the loot from it was the reins of a bronze drake. So I now have an extremely fast flying mount.
Drake? I thought that was...
A drake.
Is that the name of a flying mount? A drake?
Well, it's
that like a
a
male
dragon-like
duck?
creature that... No, it's not a duck.
I'm pretty sure it's a duck.
No, you have a duck obsession. It's not duck.
I'm not denying the duck obsession, but...
A male duck is a drake, yes.
Yeah, so
But
you
no,
won
they're-
a duck mount?
No, no.
I am the mighty duck rider! Fear me!
There's our title. I am the mighty duck rider. No, it was a dragon-type drake.
I think it's not.
You know, like fire drakes. Okay, you're fucking with me now.
World of Duckcraft.
I recognize this. You're a douche.
Come on, ride the duck. And ride it.
Wow.
I cannot believe that you fly around on a giant duck.
I don't fly around on a giant duck. Although that might be fun.
Quack.
Years and years ago, we did fight in Star Wars Galaxies. We did fight a giant Ewok.
That's true. I remember that.
That was pretty fucking cool.
That was back in the days of Wookiee love.
And it said right on it, up above its head, it says an unusually large Ewok. And it was like 50 fucking feet tall.
You know, I think they're being overly kind with unusually... like, come the fuck on sized Ewok.
The Ewoks of unusual size.
Very nice. Here in Duckburg.
What are you talking about, Duckburg?
Come on, that's
I don't watch that shit.
DuckTales?
No. Ooh.
Why do you lie to me?
No, my sisters watched it.
Oh, bull.
I've never watched any DuckTales. I was already in the late teens by then, man. I was into anime.
I didn't care. Anyway.
Yeah, but you are the Reverend Mad Duck.
I give.
I mean, you got a duck thing going on.
Not in a perverted kind of way.
That's not what your girlfriend
I'm not
told
the one
me.
rides it.
Oh.
Should have seen it.
You're the perverted duck that has to be ridden, is what it is.
And they're very unwilling. Hey, come on. You watched Darkwing Duck. We've talked about it.
No, I didn't.
You are a liar.
I've never watched Darkwing
cool
Duck.
on my-
There are things I tell you to shut you up because
Oh.
I don't have any responses for.
Shit. That explains so much.
It explains a lot.
And I also think you just use that as an excuse.
No, there are things that I totally lie to you about.
Fuck.
Hookers.
That's seriously screwed up.
Darkwing Duck.
What was the first one?
First one what? The
Hookers?
first one was in 1991.
The first hooker
Yeah.
was in 91.
Yeah.
Man, I graduated high school in 91.
I was already in Korea.
Yes. This is not a happy story.
Let's go back to the geeky stuff.
Yeah, as opposed to the freak.
Wait, is there something you'd like to talk about that's geeky?
Well, right now, you...
You'd like to talk about me?
No, that's badly phrased. No, I mean, I saw the A-Team. That was the highlight of my geekdom. Haven't read a lot lately. It's been...
You ain't been around, so
Yes.
I ain't been dropping off any homework.
Nope.
And unfortunately, our comic shop, who will not be named, has not had anything for me to purchase.
Yes, it's a
I had
state
this-
of flux.
I had to stop by Sarge's after a little, not strictly a party, but a little rock band session. Spent $70 fucking because I
Good
found
God.
so much stuff I hadn't seen. I was like, wait, this is out? Wait, they did this many of these? God damn it!
I did pick up a couple of graphics that we worked our way through.
Yeah, and Britt hated it.
Yeah, Kirkman is a weird cat. I mean,
Sometimes he hits
Invincible,
on all cylinders, and sometimes he can't even start the fucking car.
I love Walking Dead. I love
Yeah.
The Invincible. I loved Marvel Zombies.
Yeah. Britt and Astounding Wolfman?
I didn't love Astounding Wolfman. I kind of hated Brit.
I was not enjoying Brit at all.
I was just nothing there for
There was
me.
nothing new or compelling there at all.
I'm invulnerable and can do all sorts of other things that invulnerability would not allow me to do.
And I'm really, really old. And I've had like 7 wives. But this new one changed me. Man.
Wretched. Just not my idea.
But we got some new Hellboy.
Yep, I did get a Hellboy, which I enjoyed.
The Right Hand of Doom trade.
Yep, 4th in the overall Hellboy series. I have most of them in other forms because that's when I was collecting. So we know that Hellboy is the end-all, be-all for the Bill collectible.
Right.
And then I got Ed Brubaker's one-shot and expanded graphic of The Man Who Laughs.
Oh, yes, that.
The Batman first Joker story.
Yes. It was, actually, there was like 3 stories in it.
Well, there was that one, and then they include a couple issues he did where Batman meets the original Green Lantern.
Yes. Which was enjoyable.
Yeah, fun. You know, I mean, it had a Sportsmaster reference. You can't not laugh at that.
You know, I'm not even sure I knew Sportsmaster.
Oh,
before that. I feel bad about my comics history abilities when I don't. Sportsmaster, really?
Sportsmaster? Oh yeah, he attacked people with tennis rackets and bats and wore a catcher's mask.
You know, the more I think about it, the less embarrassed I am. But I should have known that.
Well, he's right up there with he was a big Green Lantern villain. Been popular in certain ways. I believe in Justice Society, Wildcat slept with his daughter.
Who didn't Wildcat sleep with?
Me.
In the books.
Oh, you're gonna get all technical. Power Girl, I'm assuming.
Nobody sleeps with Power Girl.
Then there was James Robinson's Golden Age, the 4-issue miniseries.
Yep.
And Sportsmaster played a part in that. He floats around here, though. You still see the occasional reference.
I don't remember any references. Where are you seeing references?
I pay attention.
Oh, of course you
Sportsmaster actually dies in the Silver Age as a hero trying to save a little kid. When Dynaman and the Ultra Humanite.
The Ultra Humanity.
There you go. Go berserk. No, which is one of the all-time great miniseries. I loved that book.
Do you?
Yep. Paul Smith and James Robinson, phenomenal stuff.
Oh, Paul Smith. Ooh.
You remember I picked up the 4th one at the show?
Oh, yes, indeed. That's right. So, what else?
After the Sportsmaster? I mean, you know, really.
Where can you go after Sportsmaster?
Home.
I might have to. It's, whew. Let me sit back for the pause that refreshes for a minute. Right, so, having done that, you were about to say?
I think it's time for a top 5 list.
What kind of top 5 list?
Top 5 all-time classic forgotten villains.
What are you talking about? Classic.
Well, I mean, classic villain would be Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Introduced early on, been around forever. Doom. But I want top 5 villains that didn't make the grade to the next step.
Really? Ugh.
Yeah.
The Vanisher.
Interesting choice.
Because I really don't have a whole lot more on that. Wow, what the frig? Nobody's used Hugo Strange for a very long time.
Although he's back from the dead, unexplainedly.
He is, but he hasn't done anything.
There you go.
Wow, who the fuck? That's a toughie. Where do you come up with this shit?
I think.
Since when?
Not about anything useful, for God's sake.
Vanisher.
Hugo Strange.
Wow, you always put me on the spot with these things. I hate them.
That's the point of the top 5,
I hate them. I absolutely hate the top 5s.
How can you hate the top 5?
Because I'm on the spot. I gotta make shit up to say till I can actually fucking crank my brain into gear and find an answer.
Well, the sad fact that your brain is a 1913 Model T aside,
1906.
think on your feet, son. Step up to the plate. Be a man. Grow some balls and give me a top
Whoa,
five.
hey.
I just like the tone of it.
Who hasn't been used in forever that might have been okay?
A lot of them, I mean, you've had some reappearances. The Mist from Starman and James Robinson's Starman had a huge... And you also had The Shade come back at that point.
The Shade. I didn't read a whole lot of that Starman.
Well, you did enjoy the graphics on you, though.
I enjoyed it to a degree. I wasn't like, holy shit, I need more James Robinson
Really?
Starman. It was a worthwhile read, absolutely. Not gonna, downplay that, but didn't
Love
blow me
Starman.
away. Hey, all yours, man. Not taking it from you.
Nah, that'd be challenging.
Would it?
But come on,
I just
you're
wait till you're
stalling.
fucking drunk, man.
Stalling.
It'd take about 3 seconds to convince you to let me
right.
keep it forever.
I do give things away. I see your point.
Yeah, I'm totally stalling because I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing on this. This is such a weird question. I don't know what to do
I
with
think
it.
it's a good geek question, though.
All right, well, you want to give something away for it?
All right, yeah.
We'll pick something random if you can give us 5 forgotten classic villains. Just mail in. Dennis, we got a new fan.
Who?
Dennis,
Dennis is a fan.
Dennis, I forgot his name on Facebook already. Did I tell you about my time in New York?
Wow. What the fuck are you talking about right now?
That extras gig.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Did we cover this on
No.
we did not cover
No.
this on the podcast. Here we go, kids. Alright. The show Bored to Death. I'm sure if any of you have read Newsarama, you saw that they were having a casting call for extras in a comic convention. I mailed everyone I knew and demanded that they email the casting company and tell them that I must be an extra on that show.
Did anyone email?
Yeah. Nicole Aiello did.
Well, that's sweet.
Of all people. She even forwarded me a copy of it. She even forwarded a copy of it, and she said...
Radio down! Radio down!
Lost the fucking mic again. This is going to be our worst downloaded episode because we are totally fucking useless today.
Don't be saying we. My mic has not moved, son. I'm a professional.
Yeah, well, I'm drinking. So, and she said, look, this is the guy for you. He's the biggest comic geek. I've known him for 20-some-odd years. He lives and breathes comics. This is his thing. I'm like, that was very nice of you, Nicole. Thank you very much.
I always liked her.
And Dalton sent one. Julio sent one. A couple other people sent one. It was great. And so I was on the set of a comic convention in Brooklyn on the hottest day of the fucking year.
Well played.
With no AC, one fan, and windows that don't open.
And wearing a rented shirt.
It wasn't rented. It was a costume provided by the casting company, by the production company. Super Ray. And by the way, I'm not under a non-disclosure agreement, so here we go. Spoilers abound.
Well, we are a spoiler podcast.
We are, in fact. Bored to Death is a show about a writer who is desperately trying to bang out his second book, but has absolutely nothing to work from. He puts himself on Craigslist as a non-licensed private investigator. He takes on cases, and his buddies occasionally help him out. One of his buddies is a comic book artist.
Zach Galifianakis.
Galifianakis, however the fuck you pronounce that shit. Who looks incredibly fucking humorous with his big ass beer gut and beard and fluffy hair in yellow spandex.
Well, that only
with
makes
a
sense.
huge fucking package.
Dear God.
Not a real package. Like a package where the package should be.
Ah.
It's fucking hilarious. So, apparently, one of the guys... This is the 8th episode. And the first season only had 8 episodes. So this is probably very, very far in, if not the season finale for season 2.
Okay.
And what happens is, something happened... Because we didn't get a script, right? We're just, wear this, stand here. So, where was I?
Wear this, stand here.
Wear this, stand here. He's sitting there signing a bunch of books that he did. Somebody comes up and stabs his ass. Well,
Literally
his shoulder.
ass? Okay.
His shoulder. And it turns out they must have been busting people with their investigations, because this guy gets dragged out by the police, and it's like they know him somehow, and it's like, Irwin, why did you do that? And he's like, because of you, I spent 2 months in Rikers. I lost my rent-controlled apartment.
Dear God.
Apparently, rent-controlled apartments in New York are incredibly important and valuable.
Well, that makes sense.
I suppose it does. But they drag his ass out, and Ted Danson is there. I saw Ted Danson. He's a tall motherfucker. Old, too. Cheers? No, I didn't get to speak to him. He was too... You know why I didn't get to speak to him? I'll tell you why I didn't get to speak to him. Because he was too busy macking on the woman dressed as Wonder Woman.
Was she worth macking on?
She was totally worth my fucking... Oh, yeah. She was tall, even without the heels. Well-built, jet black fucking hair. Decent Wonder Woman costume. You know, they can't really go too nuts, or they'd have to pay licensing fees.
Right.
So I'm on screen, like, I'm in front of the camera, literally. Like, there's the lens, here's me, like 6 times. It was awesome. I'm getting a book signed by the guy. They gave us prop books. Some of it had real comic art in it.
Oh, yeah? Of Super Ray?
Of Super Ray, which was kind of gross because his cock was like 6 feet long and like serpentine, like prehensile. And well, apparently because the character got superpowers from his dick landing on the 3rd rail of the subway.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And somebody must have cut a deal with Midtown or maybe even Marvel, because, you know, it's a set. It has to look like a Comic-Con.
Oh, sure.
It's an independent Comic-Con. But they've got these huge banners all over the place. There was a huge Hal Jordan Green Lantern banner. There was a Thing banner, a huge Olivier Coipel Thor banner. Incredible. It was great art. They were huge. But they had people sitting down pretending to be artists, and there were just stacks and stacks of books everywhere. So in between takes, I got to read a bunch of fucking comic books. Unfortunately, they were fucking X-Men. But there were hundreds of them. All over the place.
Very nice. Now...
And I need to go find Benny and Jenny. I hope to God it's fucking real, because it looks so adorable. It's a couple of mice. What? What's that?
Benny and
Jenny.
It's a couple of mice.
Yeah.
Please elaborate.
I can't, because it was only a couple of stand-ups, but it was real art. Somebody put together that art really nicely, and they blew it up like promotional stuff.
Two mice.
2 mice.
Did one of them have a hair bow?
No. Benny and Jenny, like the pursuit of the lost toys or something like that, and it was just so adorable. I would read it in a second. What?
Was it charming?
It was, in fact, charming.
Okay.
Kids, just so you know, I'm never going to be able to use the word charming. Charming unironically again, because I made the mistake of watching a couple of episodes of
The Gilmore Girls.
The Gilmore Girls, because my mom said she liked it. And I figured, well, if I'm going to speak to my mom, I should know what she likes because I haven't lived with her for many, many years, so I don't know what she's watching. I'll watch a couple episodes of Gilmore Girls. And it was light and airy, and there wasn't really anything to it, but it was amusing.
And charming.
And charming. So I was dumb enough to say this to one of our roommates. I was like, oh, it's charming. And after that, I've just eaten shit for like 6 fucking years now about it.
Charming.
Fuck off.
Now, did you make any possible fans while you were there?
Yes, yeah, Dennis.
Oh, Dennis is from there.
Yes.
Oh, that makes
big tall guy. Nice fella. Enjoyed talking to him. We talked some books. We goofed off. Yeah, he was a decent fella. I liked him.
Has he
handed out a shitload of cards. We're Facebook friends now.
Well, what could be better than that?
Hey. But there was a lot of geeks up in that motherfucker. And
Well,
before I forget, Ted Danson walked by me at one point. And I just want everyone on the fucking planet to know that Ted Danson smells like cinnamon.
Weird.
I don't know if it was gum. I don't know if it was deodorant or cologne.
Cinnamon deodorant?
Well, you never know.
Well, he was a celebrity.
Exactly. That's where I was about to go. But he walked by, macking on Wonder Woman. And
Wonder Woman!
I took a breath, and I was like, "What? Who walked by? What's the cinnamon?
Now, is it
really
possible
strong
that Wonder
cinnamon.
Woman smelled like cinnamon?
No, because Ted Danson walked off, and he was gone for about an hour, and Wonder Woman was behind one of the tables, and I did not smell cinnamon anymore. And he came back, and boom, cinnamon.
Creepy.
Ted Danson smells like cinnamon.
I have no words.
So, I'm in the line, waiting to get my book signed by Super Ray.
Right.
With his super cock. And there's one girl, I don't have a line. I get to walk up to the table, hand him the book, he signs it, and I get to walk away, but I don't have any lines.
Right.
The girl in front of me is like fangirl from fucking hell, like give her some Prozac.
So she's a real actress as opposed to an
Yes.
extra. Okay.
And her line was, and this was played absolutely straight, the expression on her face was utter earnestness. Earnestness. She was completely earnest.
Okay. Hey,
She
Vern.
said, oh yeah, that's enough. She said, your brain is like my brain. I love you. And he stops signing for a second, looks up, thinks for about a second, says, how old are you? But it was kind of like, how old are you?
Ah.
She says, 21. Like, she's getting the idea that something cool is going to happen. He finishes signing it, hands her the book, and says, that's nice. And she gets to walk away.
Madness.
It was pretty
Was she
fun.
hot?
She was pretty cute. Her name was Megan.
Ah.
But I don't know what her deal was, because she was constantly asking us to move in the line. And I'm like, we don't have any fucking space to move, lady.
Artists need space.
And, you know, space this motherfucker. But it was like the hottest day of the fucking year. There was people were encouraged to bring their geeky costumes.
Right.
So there was a black cat who a black cat, not a cat woman. There was a black cat,
Wait, black
Felicia
cat?
Hardy,
Oh, okay.
who was incredibly effective as a black cat. There was a Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn kind of me, because I like to see the hair.
Right.
And she wears that stupid hat with the things flopping off and the bells.
Jester's hat.
Yes. But she was banging. And it got so hot in that fucking room waiting while they reset the camera and reset the shots and everything. She eventually just peeled off the top half of her fucking costume and walked around in her bra.
Good God.
Yeah.
Not
New
shy.
York, baby.
Not a shy
Fucking
woman.
New York. There was a guy that it took us a day and a half to figure out what the fuck he was. That video game Freefall. Yeah, I've never played it. But the only reason I recognized him was near the afternoon of the second day, he stood just right in this particular pose. And I'm like, that's the ad for Freefall I saw in all those comic books. Oh, he's whatever the fuck he is from Freefall.
Was Freefall the game where you couldn't die? Like there were no
I have
saves?
no idea.
Do you remember
really
that? There
don't.
was that game where...
Yeah, it's called Nintendo.
It's called what?
Nintendo. You couldn't save, you couldn't die. If you died, that was the end of it. You know, there's a phrase in the video game world.
Yeah.
Nintendo hard. As in, like, Nintendo difficult.
Madness.
So, that guy, we weren't sure what the fuck he was, even with the helmet.
There were no flashes or Green Lantern?
No, there was a Flash. There was 4 Green Lanterns.
And even Chubby?
No.
Damn.
There was a Hal Jordan, 2 John Stewarts,
And the Kyle Rayner?
and I think it was a Kyle Rayner, but they didn't have the right mask. You know, I would have shit myself if there was a Guy Gardner, though. I would have laughed till I died. But
You need a Blue Beetle costume.
why would I need a blue? Because you're not physically fit. You're physically fat.
Well, I wasn't even thinking that. I'm just, talk about an obscure character that everyone who knows comics would totally enjoy. Like, wouldn't you love... I see, I'm not entirely in shape. I don't need to be in a big costume. Rev, fuck off. I see where you're going. But wouldn't you love to show up at a convention dressed as a Blue Beetle?
Circa Giffen and DeMatteis.
Would it really matter? Well, yeah, all right. Not the modern one with the weird scarab on his back, but... Or a Booster Gold costume.
Well, how else? No, he never got that big. They drew him a little fluffier than normal, but they put a flat out punch on Ted Kord.
Yeah, but really, most people dressing up aren't thinking, hey, I'm in the same shape as Superman. I'll put this S shirt on.
Actually, the only effective Supermans I've seen do look like fucking Superman.
Well, are you trying to be effective?
There's the really crappy ones who don't like wear real boots. They wear, red shoes and spats that go up to their knees. That's not effective. The ones that have like foam abs on, they're retards. They shouldn't even try. I mean, give it another go. Save up your dough.
I think you need a Blue Beetle
Go to the
costume.
goddamn gym. I could get away with, the Giffen DeMatteis Beetle.
You'd love it.
I would. I would enjoy that.
Or
'cause
Booster Gold.
I'm very... Not, like I said, they didn't really draw him that fluffy.
Do you really care? Or do you just want to dress up as a guy you like?
Well, I like Ted more than I like Booster.
Of course
Because,
you do.
you know why?
No.
Because Booster's a fucking jock.
Ah.
And Ted is a fucking millionaire industrialist geek.
It's like Iron Man light.
He's just not as cool as Iron Man because he never got any girls and he
Got
wasn't
shot
a
in the
hard
head.
drinker, and he got shot in the fucking head.
Horrifying. That was in OMAC?
Yes. OMAC project. Anyway, so what happened was Wonder Woman had it was so fucking hot, man. It was 99 degrees in Brooklyn. Wonder Woman had to have her hair done like 4 times that day. So this Freefall guy, that's where I was going. I totally lost my train of thought.
Yeah,
the
my fault.
Freefall guy had a black bodysuit on, and he was not a slim motherfucker. And I don't know what these things were made out of, but they couldn't be light because he clanked around, and he moved slowly. And it was nice and bulky. At first we thought it was like, what is that, a fucking steampunk Iron Man? What the hell is that guy? Is he some weird variation on it? Because the helmets look like the clone troopers.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, what the fuck is that guy? And it took forever because I never played it. So I had to remember the ad for Freefall. He was not bright enough to drink a lot of water and take off the bulk of his costume when he
Passed
wasn't
out?
He passed the fuck out. And his friend helping him, oh my god, dude. Have you woo! Big boy. Big motherfucking boy. I'm sure he was nice and all, but he was fucking huge. I'm not gonna, downplay his personality because I didn't know it. Didn't even know his name. Never spoke to him. But he was a big fat motherfucker.
Well, that happens.
So, yeah, I got in front of the camera like 6 times.
So you're very excited when the episode comes out.
Very excited about that. And I met this cool chick named Haley. I don't know if she's downloaded anything yet, but here's a shout out there, Hale.
Hi, Haley! I'm the Reverend, you don't know me.
She's an actress in Astoria.
Oh, yeah?
She lives in Queens.
She wasn't a signed-on geek, she was an actual actress.
She is really geeky.
But she's also an actress.
Yes.
She been in anything?
Productions. Not like... Well, she's probably been on a few things. She didn't really cover her repertoire and resume. But we talked a lot of geeky shit.
What was she into?
Name it. A lot of
Bullet?
stuff. That's not geeky. Bullet's not geeky.
I'm thinking the Daredevil, not
Oh,
the
that
Steve
Bullet.
McQueen. Yeah.
No, she was very much girly geeky.
Sugar and Spice?
Sugar and Spike.
I'm so ecstatic I got that wrong.
How did you, of all people, with your knowledge of comic history, not know Sugar and Spike?
It is really bizarre, my knowledge of comic history. It follows no pattern. Yeah, I should have known Sugar and Spice. I'm actually annoyed. But, God dang it. Well, all right, what were her big interests, though?
Vampires. She read comics. She knows X-Men.
Laurel K. Hamilton.
Probably.
Son of the bitch.
She's like Glee. True Blood.
Never seen a True Blood.
True Blood's good. True Blood's good. And, yeah, so that was my experience being an extra in a comic-related TV show event.
Now, what about Mr. Dennis? What were his interests?
He was a huge comic fan. He read just about everything.
No favorites?
Well, I mean, we only had so much time to talk.
And, of course, you found nothing out about anyone.
Well, no. Are you geek? Yeah. Do you like this? Yeah, that's great. Okay, fine. We only had a day, and we were, in fact, working. So, standing around is not necessarily work, but you can't talk because they're recording the actual actors' voice tracks at the time.
I guess that makes sense.
So, we were kind of stuck for a while. So, no, we didn't have to sit there as like mannequins, but we did have to pantomime. So,
you were a mime.
A pantomime.
It's still a fucking mime.
You know what? Fuck you. I don't need
mimes.
Your shit.
You're a mime lover.
I am not a mime lover. I don't need this from you.
Can you Walking in the Wind?
What?
Can you do Walking in the Wind?
Fuck off.
Here, get out of this glass box.
No, get away. Stop. Stop speaking. No, continue speaking because I'm out of material.
Oh, of course you are. All right, so your top 5, you got anything?
No, I haven't moved on at all from that.
Horrible.
I totally totally don't care. All right. What do you think about Neil Young having a graphic novel?
Neil Young, the musical artist?
Yes.
I think it's a wretched idea.
Yeah? Do you know about Greendale?
Greendale was a film project he did.
And now it's a graphic novel.
Awesome. Hey.
Why don't you read that?
Do you remember Timothy Truman?
Barely.
The artist?
Yes.
Scout?
Yeah.
Do you remember that he did a book with Robert Hunter?
No.
Robert Hunter being the lyricist for Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead?
I certainly don't know that because I am not a flaming fucking hippie.
But my point being is, do you remember Alley Cat?
Yes.
Yeah. Name one decent thing done by a musical artist in the comic industry.
But you love Neil Young.
Fine. You love Nikki Sixx of all fucking people.
No, I don't.
Pick a Motley Crue guy then.
I don't love any of them. If they wrote something, I would piss on it because they are musicians and they should stay the fuck out of comics.
My point exactly. You do love the Crue though.
I do love Crue. I'm a big fan of Crue.
So that's all I was going for. You can I hate all four of them individually, but as a group, they're awesome.
Well, you know, they don't.
Is there a good comic book with Kiss in it?
No, goodness, no.
Well, there's the Howard the Duck.
I almost bought a huge omnibus of Kiss comics for Trinick. Except that R.J. Julia wanted $150 for it.
That is a bad option.
Because, the fucking thing was 4 inches thick!
Oh, it's still a bad option.
Fuck that! So yeah, musicians need to stay the fuck out of comic books, man.
I mean, really anyone. The number of people that go from being a good musician to a good actor, or a good actor to a good musician, or a good stage actor to a great comic book writer, or a good roofer. I mean, come on.
There's a reason you got your fame doing what you did.
You got fame in one fucking area. Shut the fuck up. Of course, Kevin Smith writes comics.
Yeah, but he's always been a comic fan to begin with.
J. Michael Straczynski writes comics.
Yeah, but he's an excellent writer to begin with.
Dwayne Szymanski writes comics. But he's coming from writing novels.
Well, yeah, there you go.
He's the one who wrote that Cable Messiah War thing.
Oh, that was him?
But
oh, sorry.
I actually am a big fan of his novel, so I now have to read the Cable Messiah thing. I'm thrilled.
I give it to you for $3.
Done.
I got it to you I got it for $5. I'm taking a hit for you, man.
My love of Cable knows no bounds.
That ain't true.
He definitely has.
You are lying.
I was so annoyed, dude. I'm reading a book by him. I'm like, I love this guy. And then I get to the end. It's like, he also writes comics. I'm like, cool. And he's like, Cable Messiah War. I'm like, son of a bitch. What was Terror Incorporated taken? You had to write this.
Oh, that reminds me. We got to find some. I haven't tried it yet, but they're now adapting the Parker novels
into comics.
Yeah, and
that's a nice move. That makes a lot of sense with it, because the whole film noir thing has been huge in comics of late.
Oh yeah, yep, absolutely. And so we got to get one of them and see what it's all about. And I should probably borrow one or two of the novels off of you to find out what they're about, so that we can effectively.
For those of you who don't understand this conversation, Donald Westlake, a popular, if humorous, mystery writer, in the mid to early '60s, created a character called Parker under a different name, which was Richard Stark.
Yep.
And Parker was a I Hate Everyone thief character that would later be made into 2 films just in his first novel, which were Point Blank by John Borman, starring Lee Marvin, which is phenomenal, and Payback. But went on to write something like almost 30 novels, I think, in total as Richard Stark. And actually,
that's a lot of motherfucking books.
Interesting aside, Jim Thompson's novel The Grifters was made into a film by Stephen Frears, the director,
with John Cusack and
Angela
Houston.
Yeah, I almost said Lansbury. Literally, I just
Angelica
sucked that
Houston.
Back in. Angelica, yes, and who's the other? Who was boffing Warren Beatty for a while? Annette Bening.
Yes,
but
he used to be really fucking hot,
particularly in that movie. But when Stephen Frears went to Donald Westlake to write the script for this, he's like, I don't want Donald Westlake to write the script. I want Richard Stark to write the script. That's how influential these books were back in the day. The very first one is called The Hunter, and the next one is The Man with the Getaway Face, which is one of the single worst titles of all time.
That is. I was not going to say anything till you did, but that's The Getaway Face?
Yeah,
really? Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing to me, man.
But, yeah, I'll definitely pick one of those up, because I am a huge fan of the novels. Now,
yeah, go on. Keep going.
You're sucking wind here, so I'm thinking it's time for another top 5.
No more. You made me suck wind with the top 5. I had to diverge because I had nothing to work with.
Dude, top 5s are easy.
No, they're not.
Be a man. Grow some balls and answer the top 5.
Motherfucker, I will
do nothing?
I will take said balls, display them to you, and beat you till you lick them.
Yeah, no. No. I'm not sure where you're going with that, but horrible, wrong, and
Not going
happen.
anywhere, really. I mean, and you know what? They're fucking sweaty right now.
I'll
'cause
bet
it's
they
88
are.
degrees. And you got the worst apartment on the fucking planet for cooling.
Hey, to be fair, when I lived in a house, I had the worst room in the house. There's something about me that requires ridiculous heat.
Yeah. What are you, a fucking lizard?
Do you remember that?
What are you, Kurt Connors up in this motherfucker?
Coming home from work, I go into my room like, son of a bitch. I go to your room like, it's cool in here.
And the funny thing was, I got the sun all day. My side got the sun all day.
And mine was 12,000 degrees.
Yeah, and it was, you could breathe icicles in the winter because you refused to cover up the entrance to the attic.
Oh, is that what it was?
I kept telling you to do it for 5 years. I told you to cover that fucking thing.
I don't listen to you.
Yeah, we see that.
All right. So I think it's top 5 time.
All right. Depending on what your top 5 is,
What, you
we
got
may
something
or
else?
may not talk about creators' favorite bat things.
Wait, what?
Creators' favorite bat things.
That sounds horribly sexual.
Now, of course it does, because you're a fucking perv.
Yeah, I suppose. All right, anyway, what is this?
What is what?
What is this?
What's your top 5?
No, go ahead.
You said you wanted a top 5.
Now you've trumped me with this bizarreness. What the hell is a bat thing?
Well, bat concepts.
Oh,
Things that involve Batman.
Oh, well, top 5. Ace the Bat Hound should be number 1.
Well,
What the hell was that?
I don't fucking know. Well, Paul Dini says that the thing he loves most about Batman is the weird mixture of innovation and consistency. The more you change Batman and his world, the more they remain the same. While Brian Azzarello says, and I know you trust Azzarello, says he's comics Hamlet.
Kinda.
Yeah, I guess I can see kinda. Now, Kubert, on the other hand, there isn't just one thing he digs about Batman. There's just the cape and the cowl that he loves drawing because, of course, he's an artist. And they're so iconic you can exaggerate it all you want and hide it in the shadows and twist the cape and blah, 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 blah. So, what's one of your favorite Bat things?
I really don't like the way that sounds, but Ace the Bat Hound.
You love Batman Family.
I hate
You're
Batman
a Silver Age guy at heart. You really are, aren't you?
in many ways.
You absolutely are.
Obviously the Batarang. It's a giant flying dagger that shaped like a bat.
Incredibly effective weapon.
I hate bat costumes. Aquabat and shit like that drives me insane.
The specialty costumes.
Exactly. Which again is a Silver Age concept, but anytime it's like, and here's my night reading Batman costume.
Night reading.
And he's sitting there. It's basically a Batman costume with a bathrobe
and a smoking jacket, really?
like a pair of friggin' readers, and you're like, no, what? No. Why is this happening?
Yeah, so you like Ace, but Greg Rucka. What the fuck?
Rucka. There's no L.
Greg Rucka likes the tragedy of them.
Oh, so we're not talking actually things with the word bat in the title.
No, we're talking about creators liking concepts related to Batman.
Well, Batman is the most basic concept in the world. Revenge. I mean, you can't... The reason he's been able to continue the way he has is you're playing to very basic systems. Superman can do anything. Batman can't do anything, but accomplishes everything.
Yes.
There's a simplicity.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, well, that's what I do, is I suddenly come out with gems of knowledge that make you like, fuck, the Reverend is really smart, despite 2 hours of bullshit that I listened to before this. God, he pisses me off. I know everything you're thinking.
Do you? What am I thinking now?
Something obscure to try and annoy me.
Nope.
Anyway, but no, favorite thing about Batman as a character?
Sure.
Commissioner Gordon.
Really?
It's such a smart
His little sounding
side.
board. his...
It's a cop who understands and allows, but at the same time knows more than that we pretend. Like, just how many books have that level of character? Like,
Very
fuck
good
a
point.
Robin. Like, I've got a kid sidekick who wears red and yellow so I won't get shot at. Run that way, Robin. Boy, hostage.
He hated that.
Well, of course. But the whole Commissioner Gordon concept, it's just a smart little thing that they did. And the great thing about Batman is how many people have innovated and made it better
Yes.
over time. Like, it's a character that's improved. Like, would we still be reading Batman, the Bob Kane version?
I don't know. It's hard to say, because he was pretty adventurous and pretty brutal back then. Obviously, there are different mores now about what brutality really
vampires.
is.
I mean,
Well, yeah, I can see what you're saying. Whereas Rucka says it's pure pathos and pure heroism.
well, you're the ultimate Batman fanatic, and I'm sure someone will
I'm
write
pretty
in and
far up
disagree.
there.
And what is
I just
your
won't
favorite
spend the
thing?
money on it to be the indomitability of his character.
Can't keep him down.
The utter and complete integrity of him. Every last thing he tries to do, even up to and including Brother Eye and cataloging all the powers that then got exploited to rip apart the JLA, was done to ensure that everything was above board, even though it was below. It's a slippery slope, but he still did it because he knew that eventually it may be useful, because one of them might go rogue, one of them get mind controlled like Superman did in OMAC Project, and to keep control.
Actually, you know what? Not my favorite, but the most impressive thing about Batman is to me?
Sir, speak.
The ability to sell without talented writers or artists.
Like Grant Morrison.
Hey, I like Grant Morrison, but my point being...
When you read 700, you will want to fucking slap me for handing you that book.
Well, considering some of the other things you've done to me, that's unlikely anyway. But consider how often Batman, of all the books out there, has been like a farm team book almost.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times where they could not keep a fucking creative team together.
Or even try. Like, they've put people on there that never did a book again. I mean, it's not like you work your way up to Batman.
Yeah, which you really should, when you think about it. This guy's been continuously published for 70 fucking years.
I think the same thing is true as
without a
Spider-Man in a
skip.
lot of his periods. It's like, well, you know what? These are books that require better writing. Batman sells no matter who we put on it.
So sometimes they think they can get away with it.
Because how many Spider-Man books have you seen just the same way?
Oh yeah, plenty of them.
I'm shooting webs out of my hands. Well, we don't need a writer. You're red and black with blue pants. You'll be very popular.
It'd be fine.
Wolverine had the same... Like, a book like Thor doesn't make money unless somebody's really working to make that book good.
Right. That's exactly what I see what
Batman
you're
prints
saying.
its own money.
But Denny O'Neil doesn't like the utility belt. I love the utility belt.
Utility belt is
I think it's completely necessary to him.
only to degrees. The thing with the utility belt is when it makes sense, fine. You know what? But how often have he suddenly grabbed something out of the utility belt like bat pepper spray?
Well, he hasn't done that kind of over specialization in many years.
Yeah, but they're not talking years here. They're talking about their all time. And the utility belt has definitely... Oh, my bat pill that makes me seem dead.
It's been a catch-all for anything necessary.
It's a bad
ever.
writing tool in a lot of cases.
It can be. But, then every once in a while he pulls out something completely CSI that would be necessary to a proper detective investigation. And I'm happy with that.
Fine.
I'm like, good. They thought that he would need that little UV blood spray discoverer kit thing, whatever the fuck it is.
And that part's fine. Like but the utility belt has been such a poor catch-all so often.
No, it can get irritating very quickly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're like, oh, he had the fucking bat shark repellent. It's fine. No.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. You're right. You're right on.
Well, I'm not right. Denny O'Neil is right.
Denny O'Neil knows what he's talking about. Denny O'Neil wrote the guy for 50 fucking years.
And more than once went to the bat belt.
Well, he did, but, you got to wonder, did he have to do it because he wrote himself into a corner and didn't... Was that a deadline and couldn't rewrite it properly? Or
You know what? Actually, this brings up an interesting point, is I'm always annoyed by people that write a book and just ignore the things they don't like.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't enjoy the utility belt, so he'll never use it.
Yeah. I can
It's
see
there.
that.
It's been created. It's been popular. Deal with it.
Absolutely correct. Then they start asking him about... they start asking him about greatest Batman stories, and I'm not getting into that.
Why?
Not hearing now. Because there's so many that are just so easy to pick, and then you can make so many arguments for so many other stories. Like
Greatest Batman story.
Joker's 5-way revenge. How can you... I mean, that's way the fuck up there. But everybody's going to offer up Dark Knight. Everybody's going to offer up Year One.
Jeff Loeb.
Everybody's going to offer up Long Halloween.
Well, all right. Let me put this to you.
Yeah.
What is your favorite, not popular, Batman storyline?
Whew. That's a tough one.
I'm going to expand.
Yeah?
Your top 5 single-issue Batman stories.
Oof. Single issues, huh?
Or, 2 to 3 issues. Things that aren't necessarily graphics or major storylines.
That's tough. I really enjoy a lot of the single issue detective stuff from the 80s. Let's go find a killer.
But which one? What jumps out at you?
After 20 some odd years?
Yeah, you should have a couple.
Nothing.
You're useless.
Sometimes. No, I like the one and dones. They're fine. There's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah, but which ones? You must have 1 or 2 stories that have always stuck with you. Or a single issue.
No.
Nothing.
No.
I mean, I have The Brave and the Bold, where Batman and Sergeant Rock fight the devil, Adolf Hitler.
The devil is Adolf Hitler.
The first Shadow of the Bat, the last Arkham storyline.
The last Arkham? Really?
I enjoyed that.
That was the first arc of Shadow of the Bat.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Quite a few Shadow Bats. So,
I enjoyed a lot of Legends of the Dark Knight.
There you go. Legends of the Dark Knight.
Blades was okay.
Blades with Tim Sale art?
Yes, absolutely.
What was the one with Catman and...
Oh, what was
Killer Moth? That's
I think that was, in fact, Catman.
Was that the name of it?
I'm pretty sure.
But that was a great read.
It's one of the only Batman series I have so close to completion. All 214 episodes?
Episodes.
Issues. I'm so close on that.
Yeah, I gave up my... I actually gave up my Arkham First 4 so you could have that.
You didn't have to, because I did.
Nah, I'm pretty sure.
You gave it up regardless.
No, not when I got rid of everything. Early on, I gave you like 3.
Oh, yeah. No, because I think those were some of the ones that got damaged when the washer went kaplooey.
But yes, originally, yeah, you found out I had the first 4 and you went berserk because you needed, I think it was 3, could have been 2, but one of them you were fiending like a redheaded stepchild.
No, but you can enjoy something and put it away and not think about it again, and then pick it up years later and enjoy it again.
That's the whole point of comics.
Yeah.
Scarface.
Scarface is so much fun, man. There was so many detective with him in it, and no, I don't think he ever got into Legends though.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he was in a couple of Shadow of the Bats.
He was in the showcase thing.
Yes.
Where
Yes.
he was carved out of the wood from the Gotham gallows. I'm like, come the fuck on.
You got to give him some kind of excuse, man. It's a psychotic living puppet. You can't.
But it was never living. That was the whole point. Why make it suddenly like part living?
Still evil. You had to have an excuse for the evil.
The only good thing about that storyline was the fact that they realized that, or revealed, I suppose, that the reason he couldn't pronounce certain letters is because the ventriloquist was a crappy ventriloquist.
Yeah, Wesker was no damn good at all.
Because the guy who originally carved him, there were no pronunciation problems.
Poor Wesker, man. He finally died.
Guck you, Gatman.
What? Get out of there, cat. You can't have the caps. Oh, and the girlfriend's back. Think we'll call it a night, kids. You think we should zip this thing into 2? Give us a little buffer time to... Because we're at an hour and 15.
Nah, let her fly.
Alright, well, we'll let this one run long. And, frankly, kids, you should expect a significant delay before 50, because scheduling this kind of shit with our little circle is a load of horse crap.
It is challenging.
We want Cabo, we want Biggie, we want Warhammer, we want Rev.
We want Rev. The rest of the... Come on. Don't bring your incidentals into this.
It's going to be a challenge, but we'll work it out. Just stick with us. Remember that you can see us on Facebook. You can catch us on Twitter.
What?
Fucking Twitter. You got to promote, man. I don't have a choice. Tweet.
You're a tweet?
Tweeter.
A tweet?
A tweetist?
You elitist tweetist.
Yes, that's pretty much it. No, that's not it at all. It's only for the podcast. It's not my own thing.
I had a sandwich.
Because I would never sit there microblogging every last fucking action of my day. I'm a Twitter shitter! No. It's coming out now? No, I would never fucking do that.
How does that even work? I don't even understand Twitter.
Well, you do it from the phone.
Why don't we do it from the phone?
Alright. Having established that the Rev has way too many Beatles tunes in his head, we're going to say goodnight.
Peace, motherfuckers!
Bless you, bastards.
There you go.
Good night.
The Mean Geek is recorded live at the Reverend Mad Duck's apartment whenever the hell we can get to it. You can find us on iTunes, Podcast Alley, Facebook, Comic Space, our own site, www.themeangeek.com. Subscribe to us through RSS, and most importantly, find us as a proud member on the Comics Podcast Network. Contact us directly through email at themeanergeek@gmail.com.